It's Lucky 7 Classics. Our second entry into this whole series, we're going to talk about an album that came off of Roc-A-Fella Records. And I know you're probably thinking, another rap album? Nope, it was actually an R&B album by a group called Christión. The album was called Ghetto Cyrano. I consider this one of my favorite albums back in the day. Like, back in the early 2000s, this is one of those albums I played a lot. I believe it might have came out in 1998. I better check to be sure. And this album came out in 1997. I'm wrong. But still, great album. When I first heard it, I loved the first thing that came off. It was Full of Smoke. Full of Smoke was not like anything else that was coming out at the time. Most of the albums in that era were pretty much very R&B centric. And this was It's an R&B album, but it was so much of the stereotypical R&B you heard. You know, the I love you, girl, you love me. Not too much talking about social issues, not too much talking about anything else but the same old. But this album was really different. I mean, to have it come out on Roc-A-Fella Records was such a strange thing. And it really didn't get any promotion. But it was a really good album. Because, like, they divided the album into several sections. One section was for, more street life. What's going on out there outside your window. One part of the album was like the first time you meet a girl. Next part of the album was more sensual songs. And then, like, the last part of the album was very more melodic, very heartfelt messages being sent. Like, they actually did a cover of one song that I think a lot of people remember from the 70s by Rolls Royce called I Want to Get Next to You. Their version, I really like. It's just as good as the original. I have no complaints about that. One of my favorite, more up-tempo songs was Midnight Ecstasy. When I first heard that and it was using Paul Revere as the beat for it, it blew my mind. I was like, this is freaking awesome. I love this album. I love this song. And as you get further in the album, there's songs like Soon where it's a very it's heartfelt. It's a very emotional type of song. When you hear it, it's like, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear more stuff like this. I mean, there was another song called Bring Back Your Love, which was a second single that came off this album, and it was also a very good song. So I also want to put it out there that if you see Christión's, Ghetto Cyrano, it's a worthwhile pickup. It's probably dirt cheap. You probably find it at bargain bins at some of your local record stores. Not mean record stores. I'm not talking about Kmart, Walmart. I'm talking about a record store. But like I said, I really enjoyed this album from back then. It was really one of those albums that was very different from anything else you were hearing at the time. It almost sounded like one of those old school soul albums where, these are two people who actually wrote the album themselves. They knew what they wanted to hear, and they knew what they wanted to sound like, and they accomplished what their goal was. Sad thing about the group is that they broke up a couple years later, and I can understand why. If you're not getting promotion for your album and you're building more material and they're not using you at your label, after a while, I kind of feel like going solo. The two members, Kenny Ski and Alan Anthony, they went their separate ways. Alan Anthony did stay on Roc-A-Fella and he put out a couple more singles, but it really materialized into nothing else. As for Kenny, I didn't know what he did, but they said they got back together. They got back together a couple years ago. I seen probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They got back together and did another album. It wasn't a major release, but I'm trying to look for it myself. But I said this album itself was really cool. I think you should try it out, listen to it. I think you'll enjoy what it's like. Peace out.